Hello, everyone. My name is Gabriela Gliga. I'm from Atlantic Technological University in Ireland. And today I would like to build on some of the previous speakers' remarks regarding the role of education for Industry 5.0 and particular sustainability education. We have kind of hinted at all of the important features of Industry 5.0. It is, of course, just a continuation of the previous paradigm, Industry 4.0, where the emphasis was rightfully so on technology, on digitalization, and on automation. However, Industry 5.0 is trying to reshift our priorities and include these three key themes. So it argues that we should focus on being more human-centric, and that means more inclusive, more diverse, and building better bridges between technology and people. That was probably missing from Industry 4.0 when we see we're having trouble with integrating all of this technological development within being still human-centric. Secondly, it aims to be sustainable, and that means, as we have already heard, moving from the traditional model in which we take, make, and waste towards more of this wonderful circular and regenerative models we have already heard about from previous speakers. And it aims to help us do all of this while we are being resilient. That means being more agile, being flexible, being adaptable, because clearly the world is changing constantly and we need to develop this resilience. It is an ambitious plan and we are not quite there yet. Currently, only 6.9% of the entire global economy is circular. This is just a statistic, and this is just one source. This one in particular comes from the Circle Economy and Deloitte. However, irrespective of the statistics we're looking at, irrespective of the sources we're looking to get the statistics from, we are not at 50%, we are not at 30%, we are below 10% circularity. This means we have a 90% circularity gap. It's a big gap to fill. And if we think about how do we do that, there is another gap that we need to be aware of. And previous speakers, in particular, Mr. Zachary, made reference to this when talking about teaching in business school, and I would argue teaching everywhere. One of the skills that we really need to keep building are green skills. What you see on the screen is a graph from LinkedIn, and they say that if we continue at the current rate with our education and with our training, we will not have enough green skills. You can see in the graph that they predict that by 2050, the gap in between the green skills demand and supply will balloon over 100%. And these green skills, of course, are mainly in industries that you would expect, energy, construction, manufacturing, but they're actually permeating all industries across the globe. So how do we build these green industries, skills within industry? We have done a great job, and again, previous speakers have mentioned this. Professor Kateora mentioned that, maybe sustainability is not enough anymore. And I argue we have taught about sustainability. We've done a great job at increasing knowledge and awareness about sustainability challenges, but we need to move from teaching sustainability onto how to do sustainability. And within education, this means that we need to change the way we teach. And teaching how to do sustainability means building competences, so the ability to do. We have done a great job introducing to our students framework, the Sustainable Development Goals. These are all very well discussed across the globe, across all universities. They are very well written in all policy documents. They are always on the table in boardrooms, again, across all industries. But when it comes to our graduates, can they really do it? In order to do that, we need to rethink the way we teach, not sustainability, but how to do sustainability. And one of the things, again, that Mr. Zachary made reference to in terms of quality and assurance of learning is in our assessment. So far, I think we all know we're very good at assessing knowledge, and we're very good at creating exams where we assess recall, but that will only graduate knowledge and recall. We need to graduate competences. And finally, again, as all of the previous speakers have mentioned already, we need to design together with industry and together with policy, because they will give us those real scenarios where our students can engage with the complex problems that sustainability challenges bring. And that is analytical thinking, which I think is the #1 skills from the World Forum report, problem solving, dealing with many uncertainties, dealing with paradoxes, dealing with unintended consequences, with ethical dilemmas. All of that is very, very complex. And again, partnering with industry and policy will help us get there. So we need to move the questions from how do we teach sustainability. We've done okay in terms of awareness and in terms of creating knowledge, but we need to focus on how do we graduate people who can do sustainability. And a lot of the current existing literature on the subject emphasizes that we really need to do these 3 key things. First of all, embed sustainability competences in core outcomes. So that means that we don't think of sustainability as an afterthought, as an add-on, as a tick-the-box exercise. I'm sure many people here can relate. In universities, we have this mapping across the SDG, and yes, we're ticking the boxes, yes, we're mentioning them here and there, but that's not really what we want anymore. So really embedding sustainability is really making sure that it's present and it's across everything we do, from the way we write learning outcomes to the way we define our graduate attributes. And then it's very present in the way we assess that it's authentic. And again, we create those opportunities for our students in the right way. Secondly, we need to enable faculty transformation. And this is a challenging one because traditionally, educational models were on transmitting knowledge, isn't it? Were on creating awareness. But thinking about what we need as faculty member is thinking about new models of teaching. So thinking about action learning and transformative learning. And that means as teachers, many of us have to change the way we deliver. We're not teachers anymore. We have to think ourselves as facilitators. We have to develop coaching skills in which we take our students in these complex dilemmas and we just help them along the way. We don't give them the answers because many times, again, there isn't a straightforward yes or no, a clear answer that it's so easy to have. Sustainability challenges don't have that. And secondly, we also need to encourage more interdisciplinary collaboration. And again, that was mentioned by previous speakers. And I think everyone who has been a student would relate to this. When we start a program, when we do a program, when we teach, we're quite siloed in our approach, isn't it? We do business and we do engineering. But we need our universities to be more open and more flexible. And I know that's difficult, but sustainability challenges are never just business and are never just engineering. They're always a combination of multiple factors. And the third point is to build industry-responsive learning ecosystems. And again, that was, for instance, a good example in Dr. Strong's presentation of bringing industry on board. And it's not only about future skills and about building our current traditional students. When I say responsive learning ecosystems is looking at the skills gap in the current workforce. So we need to be more aware of these industry needs, and we need to build short-term programs and micro-credentials alongside with industry to help them upskill their workforce. And I think that was also present in Dr. Katura's presentation. So that means that education has a responsibility to help all organizations become learning organizations and be ready for Industry 5.0. And this brings me back to the initial diagram I started with, but as you can see, I have placed now education at the center of the 3 points of emphasis in Industry 5.0. because I really believe education is not a support system that sits outside somewhere there to just make reference to. We really need it to be central, because technology alone will not be human-centric, sustainable, and resilient, but people will. People are able to deliver on all of that, and we need education to enable us to do so successfully. Thank you very much. Please reach out.